what is it worth to you for your time? So here we have in this chart, if we can see this, on the left at the bottom is your time, that's the base. Then the top end of that is how the client is going to use the work. So that vertical line represents the differing fees you can get. Your expertise is going to drive your fee up. Your location might drive your fee up. Your competition, and sometimes your location can certainly drive your fee down.
What a beautiful presentation. It really helped me think like how to be more artful.
Thank you.
And like girl power, freaking girl power.
Let the mares in the stable, you know? Now this is an example of a drone shot taken for the commercial company who owns the building. And their goal is to lease their remaining space. Now this is a view that you would not see, that you could not see, because this is taken from a drone. And the visibility from the highway and the proximity to Chicago is a marketable asset for them. But for our purposes, it directly opposes the feelings of safety and privacy. Instead, it makes the building feel exposed and therefore everyone else inside exposed. Alternatively, there is a pedestrian pathway across the street that's elevated over a park. You can still see the entire building and its proximity to both Ashland Avenue and the highway. But you could, as someone walking towards the night ministry, be taking this path. So this could be part of your circulation. And you're on this path, you see where you're going. You could watch some dogs play, which, as we all know, is like an immediate pick-me-up. And this is a much better representation of what my clients were trying to accomplish. So the other is not wrong, it's just a different client who has a different purpose.
Today I want to show you what editors are always on the lookout for, what editors receive all day, and how you can stand out in that swimming, overwhelming inbox to get your work featured.
You have to do you. This is kind of like the hardest thing that I feel to kind of trust yourself to do. Like, you know, we spend so much time and energy trying to figure out how others do it, how many photos they take in a day, how they price it, you know, whether they composite, whether they light or don't light, how many lights, you know, and you know, you can drive yourself nuts. And honestly, if you spend a little time looking at it, you'll find that there are very successful photographers that do it in very, very, very different ways. So really just, again, it doesn't mean you cannot improve on your processes or learn or get better, but it still has to work for you.
And it's like if I don't lower down to what they're wanting me to shoot for, then I'm gonna lose it to somebody who's cheaper. Is it one of those things where you're essentially just either take it or leave it, or it's like I really need the work, so I'm gonna take it? Like how do you think through those things, or are you just not dealing with it?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. That came when I was shooting for ISG. That kind of came across because I usually get pulled in when the hotels want to do something different. Like when I did a brand shoot for Hilton, they were like, we want to use my shoot as the case study for all the other shoots for all their other hotels. So they want to take some risks and do something different, and which is why I think I cost more. But yeah, when I was shooting for IHG, like the stylist team brought me on, and they're like, so we kind of submitted as a package. I know it was more expensive, but they were still like, okay, but we want to like use this as like the test case. And then they were like, oh, and then you can do 20 more shoots like this, and like think about lowering your price. I'm like no, like I first of all I didn't want to do 20 more shoots because then I think my whole year would be full. But yeah, and it's tough. But I think if you're trying to get your foot in the door, I think it's great to just have that experience. I feel like my style wouldn't probably be that good for that kind of work because you know, like I am like they might want something that's more like that could be replicated, because they're shooting like hundreds of thousands of hotels around the world. So like you don't want it to be like super creative if you want it to have like a consistent like the style books they have. So I think in that case you have to kind of like play by their by their rules, and because they have different photographers in different regions. And so I think that's when you want to, if you can get those brand shoots, because the brand shoots are like for the whole brand. Like, and even when I was shooting, they would try to make the shoots generic. They were like, oh, we'll just remove the logo of the city so we can use it for 10 other cities. There you have more flexibility with budget, but I think if it's like the local shoots, it's probably set.
Because if you don't, then you might be busy, but you're always doing the same thing, and there's no room to grow. You need to, meet new people and stuff like that, and reach out. And early in my career, I was doing that. I sent out emailers. I did a lot, and that's kind of how I met people.
What are you specifically doing at these events to try to cut through the uncomfortable vibe?
Some of it at just a regular event, meaning at the AI facility, at a restaurant or whatever, it's literally just like walk up and say, hi, my name's Adam, and like start the conversation. It feels weird, but everybody's there to meet people, so you just got to get over it and put yourself out there. But I do want to give like one very specific tactic type thing that like everybody could take away from if they choose. Arturo, you were saying, photographing the events. Brian, you mentioned this as well. I actually volunteered to photograph golf tournaments, and it seems like all the organizations in my area have at least one, if not more, golf tournament / fundraiser every year. I thought, hey, this would be a great way to get out there. I'll shoot a gallery. I'll put my watermark on everything. I did it twice. The first one, I was kind of floating around. I had my own cart. I would just drive around, shoot people playing. Like, I've got a sports photography background. I was cool with that, but that didn't allow me to get in front of everybody. So the next time I changed it up. I stayed at one hole. Every single group that came in, I asked them for a group photo, and then took shots of them at that hole, like interacting or whatever. And because of the way that these tournaments are set up, they're not like flying through it. So they're gonna sit around that hole. And at the hole, I picked the one that has like, the beer tent and the cigar stand or whatever. So people are hanging out at this thing for a while, and you can just chat with them the whole time they're there. And literally one of the guys that I chatted with there, I had seen him at another event, a couple weeks prior, and we had chatted. So now this is 2 face-to-face. A couple weeks later, he hired me for a job.
Nice. All right, so let's move on to social media.
My clients aren't paying me to have an opinion on what they've created. No one gives a shit what I think about it. But what they do care about is that I can make really beautiful pictures and respond to beauty and the layers of beauty that show up in that moment. And it's moment after moment after moment, from when it is dark, literally, when I arrive, till I leave again, when it's dark again.
What is it worth to you for your time? So here we have in this chart, if we can see this, on the left at the bottom is your time, that's the base. Then the top end of that is how the client is going to use the work. So that vertical line represents the differing fees you can get. Your expertise is going to drive your fee up. Your location might drive your fee up. Your competition, and sometimes your location can certainly drive your fee down.
What a beautiful presentation. It really helped me think like how to be more artful.
Thank you.
And like girl power, freaking girl power.
Let the mares in the stable, Now this is an example of a drone shot taken for the commercial company who owns the building. And their goal is to lease their remaining space. Now this is a view that you would not see that you could not see because this is taken